Some of my biggest investment mistakes came from overlooking this. Hey everybody, Peter here. I just got back from watching Warren Buffett's final Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting as CEO, and I couldn't stop thinking about how many of his core principles apply directly to venture capital. I know most people don't think Warren Buffett and VC belong in the same sentence, especially since he famously avoids investing in most technology businesses. But hear me out. What I learned from Buffett this year might just change how you think about investing in early stage startups. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of Buffett's biggest takeaways from the 2025 meeting and how I'm applying each one to my work as a venture capitalist. First insight, artificial intelligence, caution, and adaptation. Buffett's insight. Buffett warned about the risks of AI, calling it similar to nuclear technology, and that once it's out, we can't control where it goes. He said AI could change everything in the world except how men think and behave, and predicted that scamming is going to be the growth industry of all time. Here's my take. Well, this really stuck to me. At our fund, we're seeing incredible startups using AI, but Buffett's words remind me to double down on companies that help protect against the dark side of tech. One of our portfolio companies, Wiz, does just that. Also, his point about human judgment being irreplaceable hit home. AI can assist, but experience, integrity, and judgment built over a lifetime are core to our decision making. That's why I believe the best outcomes will come not from just AI alone or humans alone, but AI plus humans. His next piece of advice refers to temperament over timing. Here's his insight. If it makes a difference to you whether your stocks are down 15%, you might need a different investment philosophy. Buffett reminded us that volatility is the price of admission for long-term wealth. He even said he'd be thrilled if Berkshire dropped 50% next week, because it'd be a buying opportunity. Here's my take. This could not be more relevant to venture. All of your losses happen early. Your winners take years to emerge. The key is staying calm. When markets are up, don't chase FOMO. When they are down, don't run scared. Great companies compound over time. As long as you're investing in fundamentals, ride it out. Although venture is usually more isolated from volatility than others, the explosion of trading in secondary markets has created both volatility in private markets and also a great buying opportunity for those in the know. Next piece of advice, avoiding the casino mentality. Buffett compared the US economy to a cathedral with a casino attached. The cathedral represents the might of the US economy, productive businesses that add real value to society. He warned us not to get seduced by the casino, speculative markets, bubbles, trends, etc. So here's why this is relevant to VC. There's always a hot trend, crypto, AI, Web3, and many aren't wrong. They're just early or inflated. But ask yourself, am I backing a company solving a real durable problem? Or am I betting on a macro shift to make this business viable? Or that there will be a greater pool to sell to? That's the difference between the cathedral and the casino. And I see lots of VCs fall into this trap. The next insight that I thought was interesting is thorough research and turning pages. Buffett said, it's amazing what you can find when you just turn the page. He emphasized reading annual reports, studying balance sheets over income statements, and truly understanding what you own. This might be the best diligence advice ever. Go deep. Read the docs. In VC, it's easy to get caught up in revenue growth, but growth doesn't equal a great business. Like Bill Gurley says, don't fund a business selling dollars for 50 cents. My goal, spend more time on balance sheets, track cash flow, understand working capital needs, etc. And if I'm being honest with myself, some of my biggest investment mistakes came from overlooking this. This next piece of advice that really stuck out to me was this idea of a disorderly opportunity hunt. Great companies don't come around very often. Great companies at great prices come around even less. Buffett said, inactivity isn't a sin, it's a strategy. Berkshire holds cash until the moment is right, including right now where they're holding record amounts of cash. I think I just read that they have 5% of all T-bills out there, which is crazy. Here's my take. The VC community kind of learned this the hard way in 2021. Even deals that we thought were conservative turned out to be overpriced. Buffett reminds me that it's okay to sit it out and wait. Don't deploy capital just because everyone else is. Patience is a competitive advantage when used appropriately. And in a venture fund, there's always this pressure to invest the capital that you've raised from your LPs. But I know several funds that during 2021, they said, you know what, we're going to go back to our LPs, and because everything is overpriced, and we're going to ask them for an extra year of our investment period so that we can find really good deals. And almost all of them got approval to do so. The next learning that I really enjoyed was his advice to not doubt yourself and to focus on lifelong learning. You can't be filled with self-doubt in this business. He emphasized constant learning. Even at 94, Buffett reads over 5 hours a day and is still learning from his mistakes. Here's my take. If that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. VC is probably a field where this matters most. Tech moves fast, paradigms shift constantly, and if you are not learning every day, you're falling behind. For example, I think a lot of people are mistaking early AI revenue for product market fit, but I think that's going to flatten out fast. And if you're not figuring out what the new measure of product market fit is, you're going to end up with a portfolio of overpriced businesses with massively inefficient customer acquisition models. On a more personal note, I really appreciated his life advice. Let me share the two things that hit me most: life and legacy. Buffett recommended that everybody in the audience write your obituary and then try to live up to it. Buffett talked about the purpose, joy, and work, and having a life you are proud of. He also said to keep a lot of curiosity and read a lot. Impact is something I think about a lot. Not just how many deals we do, but how we show up for founders, LPs, and our team. Am I adding value to those around me and building relationships that matter and aren't just doing things purely on a transactional basis? Doing so creates a life and career that I love, and I want to keep showing up with curiosity and integrity every day. Buffett's still learning at 94. That's the bar. If you haven't watched or read the annual meeting, I highly recommend you take some time to do so, and then share your favorite insights in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you too. And as always, if you want more of this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thanks.